Thank you, High Representative, our friend Miguel Moratinos, Ambassador Skog, Excellencies and colleagues. As was mentioned, my name is David Michaels. I serve as Director of United Nations and Intercommunal Affairs at B'rith International, a Jewish service organization that was founded by German Jewish immigrants in this city 179 years ago, but is present today in some 50 countries. As an organization profoundly committed to combating all forms of bigotry, including anti-Semitism, but also one that has played a very active role at the UN since its very founding conference in San Francisco in 1945, we are deeply appreciative of this consultation and the very meaningful commitments that it represents. Without repeating all that has already been said, allow me to add my organization's praise for the EU strategy presented by our friend Katharina von Schnurbein, with whom B'nai B'rith worked very closely in its preparation, for the very significant sentiments and efforts of European Commission President von der Leyen in the Middle East this week, for key elements also in the new Council of Europe Parliamentary Assembly report on anti-Semitism, for all of the work already undertaken by Secretary General Guterres, by you, High Representative, and by our partners, including Tracy Peterson and Karel Frakapan, and not least for that latest action plan of Special Rapporteur Ahmed Shahid, whose dedication and whose allyship have been indispensable. My organization's leadership and I have just returned from visits that testified to what Ambassador Lipstadt called the good news, and indeed the promise of more to come. In meeting with Pope Francis 2 weeks ago, and also visiting a series of important Arab countries, we can testify firsthand to the critical progress in Christian-Jewish relations and now prospectively in Muslim-Jewish relations that would have been unthinkable not long ago. This said, as has been mentioned, it's clear that much more needs to be done. In particular, Pew Forum and other data confirm frighteningly high rates of not just anti-Israeli, but anti-Jewish sentiment across much of the Middle East. And in our world of migration and social media, this sentiment spills over into actual violence too often across Europe and far beyond. As I noted at the UN Human Rights Council just yesterday, UN shortcomings on upholding non-selectivity, impartiality, and objectivity with regard to its only Jewish member state, home to nearly half of the world's Jewish population, both reflects and risks exacerbating this reality. While we strongly welcomed not only the EU's embrace of the vital IRA working definition of anti-Semitism, but also its strategies pledged to ensure that no EU funds enable anti-Semitic sentiment, even on the part of external partners, the EU has renewed funding to Palestinian beneficiaries without yet placing firm conditions on reform concerning educational content on Jews. We hope that this change will be integrated moving forward. For now, we wish to commend for your consideration our recent publication on EU funding, as well as our new toolkit with IRD on UNESCO, mentioned by Karel, on online anti-Semitism. Excellencies, thank you again for this opportunity and for the timely conversation. We look forward to continuing to work very closely over the period ahead.